Rite of passage or not, it was still a heavy lift for Corfield to perform 2 birthing scenes back-to-back, an experience she's kind of hazy on more than a year later. "I think it was a week of birthing, actually," Corfield says of how the scenes were filmed. "If I'm remembering correctly, I think that was why it was so intense, because I realized I was doing a whole week of this. For the main birthing scene, we were in that room filming for 3 or 4 days." Since inadvertently time-traveling back to 1714 Scotland, Julia and Henry have endured enormous hurdles to survive as people out of time. She has been forced into servitude in the home of the cruel, relentless Lord Lovat, Tony Curran, whom she slept with to cover up that she is carrying Henry's baby. She feared Lovat would get rid of the baby if it wasn't his, and a seer prophecy that the child will grow up to be king has now made her even more valuable to him. Henry, meanwhile, has been conscripted as an accountant for Isaac Grant, Brian McCarty, a treacherous position that promises the opportunity to search for Julia if only he can navigate the politics of the time. Julia's tenuous circumstances at Castle Leathers reach a breaking point in episode 6 when she goes into labor, leading to a frenzied birthing scene where she is assisted and then berated by a gaggle of howdies, Scottish midwives, who come to support her until her fellow housemaid Davina, Sarah Vickers, begins to question the legitimacy of the pregnancy. When she claims Julia seduced Lovat, the howdies become venomous, leaving the expectant mother writhing on the straw-strewn floor to defend the paternity between contractions. She's lying, of course. Henry is the father. But in this moment, she vehemently stands her ground as if it were the truth, because for her baby to survive, it has to be. "I think she must die a little bit inside every time she has to lie and say Lovat is the father," Corfield says. The actor says she loaded up on energy drinks to get multiple days of shooting the birth, much of which required her to fend off the threats of the howdies and a furious Davina. Outlander has always been a baptism by fire kind of experience for its actors. More than a decade into the franchise, the sweeping romanticism of author Diana Gabaldon's story is matched only by a constantly evolving definition of trauma, leaving each character, and the audience, to brace for the brutality of life and whatever fresh hell awaits them around every corner. Julia, Hermione Corfield, and Henry Beecham, Jeremy Irvine, rounded that proverbial corner in the 6th episode of Starz's prequel series, Outlander, Blood of My Blood. In the span of the hour, Corfield gives birth not once but twice on screen, while Irvine plays out Henry's mental collapse in real time. But before you worry too much for the actors, being handed that defining traumatic moment to chew on is kind of a rite of passage in the world of Outlander. "I think that's the thing with the show," Irvine tells Variety. "It's an epic, epic story, and everyone will have their time, I'm sure."